Hi, I'm Dr. Kurt Wohler for Autism Recovery System. I want to go through 5 tests that I have found and I'm continuing to see how important it is with regards to toxicity exposure for individuals on the autism spectrum. So these 5 tests do not include blood, so it's urine and hair assessment, which is convenient for particularly children with autism. And these tests are also available from Great Plains Laboratory that are also available too through a website called Lab Tests Plus. That's labtestsplus.com. The first test that I think that everybody with autism should have done is the organic acids test. This is a urine test from Great Plains Laboratory. It's a foundational test, a fundamental test that helps to open the discussion and evaluation for underlying metabolic problems, certain toxins, as well as digestive issues regarding yeast overgrowth, Clostridia bacteria, and even the potential colonization of the digestive system from mold. It also evaluates for mitochondrial dysfunction, nutritional deficiencies, etc. So there's a lot of information that the organic acid test provides. So that's test number 1. Great Plains also has what's called a GPL-TOX test, also sometimes called the non-metal chemical profile, different names given to it. But this is a urine test that looks for environmental chemicals, things like organophosphates, perchlorate, which is a chemical that can inhibit thyroid function, 2,4-D, which is a particular herbicide that has strong neurotoxic properties, and a vast variety of other types of environmental chemicals that are important to understand if your child is being exposed to that. A complementary test to the GPL-TOX is the glyphosate profile. Glyphosate is an herbicide that is used on genetically modified food. A lot of us are exposed to it. The problem with glyphosate, one aspect of it, is that it appears to disrupt the normal bacterial environment of the digestive system. We already know that individuals with autism often have digestive system problems and often have imbalances in bacteria. And many of them have the presence of a bacteria called Clostridia bacteria. Clostridia bacteria produce toxins that can affect the brain and nervous system. Well, glyphosate can disrupt the healthy bacteria in the gut, increasing an environment where Clostridia bacteria or other opportunistic bacteria can proliferate. So that's test number 3. Test number 4 is a heavy metal assessment. Now there's many different types of heavy metal tests, so that's really for another discussion, but the first test that I always start with and recommend is a hair analysis. A hair analysis gives us a representation of past exposure to certain heavy metals. It also gives us an idea of certain mineral imbalances. Not all minerals can be correlated from a hair test to the blood, but certain minerals can. Things like lithium deficiency or selenium deficiency, for example. So a hair test is a useful test to do as just a snapshot overview of certain mineral imbalances and the presence of heavy metal exposure. Plus it's hair, it's relatively easy to get. And then the last test as part of this 5 that I highly recommend people do is what's called the GPL-TOX profile. Mycotox or mycotoxins are mold toxins. And these are very toxic compounds that are not analyzed off of a regular blood test. The only way to actually know if you or your child has the presence of mycotoxins is to do a mycotoxin test. And you'd be quite surprised sometimes of what we acquire from food contaminated by mold as well as the environment. Okay, it could be water damage, building, or building material, for example. So the 5 tests are the organic acid test, the GPL-TOX profile, the glyphosate profile, a hair analysis, sometimes also called a hair metal test, and the GPL-MycoTOX profile. Again, all 5 are available from Great Plains Laboratory. We also carry those through a website called labtestsplus.com. And anytime a lab is actually ordered through Lab Test Plus, an individualized written review is provided of the relevant markers on the test along with what are called action step suggestions. Okay? Thanks so much. This is Dr. Kurt Wohler. Take care.